Hi there. Today I'm going to show you abdominal breathing. So this is one of the best practices I know for helping with anxiety. When I practice this, when I've finished it, I tend to feel pretty calm, centered and grounded, and yet really clear and alert. But it's this internal embodied stillness that I really get from this practice. So let's get going. So abdominal breathing, there's just two phases to it really. The first phase is to relax the chest. So you're looking to feel as if your head is suspended by a thread from above. That's the traditional way of looking at it. Or you can imagine as if someone's holding you securely under the jaw and the back of the head. Either way, what you're looking to do is to keep the head in that position there, and then to soften and relax the chest and the shoulders. It's almost like ice melting and becoming water, or wax becoming warm and melting and dropping down through to the belly. So from just a normal position here, you would soften the chest and let it drop down towards the belly. So an easy way of doing this, it's not essential, but an easy way of doing this is to do it on an out breath. Breathe in. As you breathe out, so you just let it all soften from the chest and let yourself drop down to the belly. If I don't have that feeling that my head's suspended from above, what happens is when I'm softening the chest, I'll drop and collapse, so it doesn't work. You need to have that upright posture, spine erect, head suspended from above, and then when you soften the chest, melting, dissolving, releasing. That's the effect. It's really, really good effect. That first part is to empty any tensions that you can out of the chest. The more you do that, the better you'll get at it. And then that brings you on to the next part, which is the abdominal breathing. So again, just from a normal position here, when you do abdominal breathing, when you breathe in, your belly and your lower back expand. And when you breathe out, they contract in. So every time I breathe in, my abdomen expands. Every time I breathe out, my abdomen comes back in. There's no great force to this. You don't want to strain, no force at all. You want it to be as natural as possible. So there's two phases. So the first, just empty the chest and let it all drop down. Sometimes I bend my knees at that point. Then when you breathe in, let the abdomen expand. When you breathe out, let it contract in. Now, even once you've started doing that with the abdomen, you'll need to come back to the chest to keep looping your attention between the breathing and the position of the chest, because this will tighten up quite quickly. It's just the way we're made. So you just keep softening that chest. So I'm going to do this just for a minute on a couple of different angles. Emptying the chest, then breathing in and out. In, just softening the chest again, and out. So emptying the chest, then breathing in, and breathing out. In and out. Oh, that feels good. So the last little tip with that practice is to look for a natural rhythm. I haven't done it long enough to find it there, but if you just do this for a couple of minutes, there'll be a rhythm that really works for you. Often we go too slow, because if you're doing this practice because you're anxious and you're looking to calm yourself, the slowness of the breathing calms you, and so that pace, that rhythm becomes seductive. But really there's a rhythm that's quite natural and free, and that's the one you're after. It's usually, not always, but usually a little quicker than how you started, unless you're really anxious and you're breathing fast to start off with. So always head suspended, empty, soften, melt the chest down to the abdomen. Then as you breathe in, abdomen expands, breathe out, abdomen contracts. Keep looping your attention back to the chest so you check for any tensions and just soften and melt those tensions and look for that natural rhythm from there. If you do it long enough, you'll find it kind of reverses and it feels like bellows. So it feels like as your abdomen expands, it draws your breath in, and as your abdomen contracts, it lets the breath come out. So a lovely feeling when you get that one. I often do it just from a standing position. Sometimes I will sit down and do this practice. And other times you can do it, this is a very classic Qigong posture. I don't know, just that adds a bit of energy to it. So you feel a bit more energized sometimes when you do this. So this is one of the other ways that I'll do it. Exactly the same practice. It's just as if the hands are holding a ball or palms facing you with the fingers connected. Once again, just nice and relaxed, weight spread evenly through the feet. Knees are quite bent on this one and you're sat into the qua, into the hip from there. And emptying the chest, down to the belly, and then you start. All good.